Hey, it's Pete here from allorganicmedicalmarijuana.com, allorganiccbd.com, and the Small Business Resource Center. I know I didn't do a video on either of those channels in a while, but I've been busy and sometimes I'm like, well, the news just doesn't make sense. But even though you're looking at the video quality of this looking very poor, I apologize. I don't know why, because I checked the settings. I didn't change anything, but I'm looking at my camera on Zoom and saying, why does this look so old? It's on HD settings. I can't figure it out right now, but this is an important video I want to get out today. So, um, Trump actually stated that he is going to reschedule marijuana. Well, he didn't say he is going to. He said they're looking into it in a couple weeks. Watch the video, check it out. What I'm going to do is give you the three best stock picks that I searched using AI to make decisions if I would buy stocks, because I believe this is going to happen. It's common sense here.
The other question, sir. There's reporting that the administration is going to reclassify marijuana. Would that send mixed messages that if marijuana is okay, some drugs are okay, but we're trying to clean up crime? How do they go hand in hand?
We're only looking at that. That's early, but somebody reported it, which is fine. We're looking at it. Some people like it, some people hate it. Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana because if it does bad for the children, it does bad for people that are older than children. But we're looking at reclassification, and we'll make a determination over the next, I would say, over the next few weeks. And that determination hopefully will be the right one. It's a very complicated subject, the subject of marijuana. I've heard great things having to do with medical, and I've had bad things having to do with just about everything else. But medical and, for pain and various things, I've heard some pretty good things. But for other things, I've heard some pretty bad things.
What I did is I went to ChatGPT and I put what are the best marijuana related stocks that would benefit from rescheduling and from potential short squeeze after Trump reschedules marijuana. And below is a neutral summary of the current situation. As of mid August 2025, former President Trump has publicly indicated the administration considering reclassifying marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 under federal law. With a decision expected within weeks, that's what Trump actually said if you listen to the video. This has sparked sharp rallies in cannabis stocks and EFTs, especially among multi state operators and ancillary businesses. So, stocks that could benefit multi state operators. These could benefit from reclassification. Cureleaf Holdings was listed. They have 19 dispensaries. Green Thumb Industries are profitable cannabis retailer with 100 outlets. True Leaf Cannabis, a dominant retailer in Florida. But in my opinion, if they reschedule, every single stock's going to go up, by the way. So that goes without question. Ancillary picks: Scott's Miracle Grow, their hydroponic seller, real estate investment trusts, innovative industrial properties. They're a REIT that owns cannabis properties. Potential for short squeeze plays. That would be stocks that have high short interest, low price stocks, by the way, that potentially can have a higher squeeze when there are rallies because they're so cheap. Cannabis, Canopy Growth, Tilray, SNDL, ACB, Aurora Cannabis, MSO, GBTIF, TCNNF, Trulieve. So these are the stocks that they picked, and it's giving you some information. By the way, I did this the other week, so you're getting this a little bit late. You could see this here, but don't worry. I didn't want to put this out right now because I thought the prices were a little high and they were dipping, and that's exactly what happened. My prediction was right. That's why I did not release this information, but we'll go over that in a second. Okay, so they give the evaluations, or they show these stocks right now: 130 on the 16th, 237. So you could write those numbers or remember it. 103, and they did go up Monday, by the way, but we'll go over all that. Natural perspectives and considerations. None of these companies are guaranteed winners. Investing involves risk. Rescheduling, if enacted, may take up to a year. Legal uncertainty remains. Institutional adoption may lag until clarity on federal policy. I think it's not going to take that long. I mean, if you change your banking regulations, reschedule it, boom, it's going to be happening very quick. But I think the stocks are going to rally regardless. Maybe they'll go high, maybe they'll short squeeze, but I think they'll rally. Now it says, out of these stocks, what would your three best picks be? And where do you think they would go in days or weeks after rescheduling? Okay, good question. I'll give you my three strongest picks out of this list and explain why and give you the short, realistic price action on both. After 1 week, keep in mind this is not financial advice. Any analysis based on market history, current evaluations, or short interest data. Three best picks, Green Thumb Industries. Here's your ticker symbol if you want to look it up, and I'll go to that page shortly. Why they're profitable right now? So when they change the banking laws, it's going to help them drastically. It's going to, well, hopefully they change the tax laws too, because if you don't know, in a lot of areas, these tax marijuana, because it's considered illegal or whatever, and all these corrupt governments, they overtax these companies. Some of you don't know that, but every single one of them, and I'm pretty sure almost every single state. After 30 days of rescheduling, or it says short interest, not a squeeze, as penny names, but strong fundamentals could drive buying up. So I'm going to give you my picks out of these, by the way. Days after rescheduling, 20-30% pop. Hey, that's pretty good. 20-30% if you can get that in a couple weeks. It could consolidate to 16 to 20, depending upon broader markets. And keep in mind, this is Chat GPT's information, not mine. Tilray, NASDAQ, huge retail interest, massive short interest, and a cheap stock. It's around $1. So, and this is swings pretty good already without any major news like this. So, after rescheduling, you could possibly get a 100% increase, roughly. Wouldn't that be nice? After 1 week, they're saying $3 to $4. Sell pressure could drive it down to 2. It could really go higher than this, if you ask me. Canopy growth. Why? I've actually posted videos about this before, but it has weak fundamentals but high short interest, and that could drive it up. People are going to just start buying these, and this is heavily shorted too, so it could jump to $2. 1 week it could be 250 to 3. Of course, it could go up. Why not others? Cureleaf, both solid MSOs with real estate business, and they're not heavily shorted. Their moves are strong, but would likely be measured. So, I mean, they could still go up 100 to 200%, so that's not bad. Miracle Grow, um, big gainers in a speculative squeeze. They're likely to benefit over months, not days. Uh, SNDL and Aurora Cannabis, possible squeezes, both have poor long term track records and heavily diluted risks. So, Tilray and CGC. That was actually my pick too, by the way, but keep watching the video. It's not over. Timing for rescheduling. Um, they're looking at the news, 20 to 50% spikes, and that could be happening in 1 day. So imagine that. 2 to 3 days, you could be looking at better gains. After 1 week, you could be expecting a 30 to 50% more, 2 to 3 times their current level on all these stocks. I mean, that sounds pretty good. And this is not financial advice, by the way. This is not information to buy, sell, trade, or anything. I'm just doing research. I'm just a guy doing research. I'm going to show you what my picks are, but I'm not telling you if I'm buying any. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this is all a fantasy, just like how badly degraded my image is right now. Okay, do you want me to put short interest so we can map out which one's best suited for long term or safer holds? So I put based on marijuana news, this is today, and 3 stocks, would you change any of your previous messages? Here's the latest prices. So this is today's update, which it is 850 right now. So it's at 106. It actually went up and then went down. I'm going to show you that. But I want to show you their information before I show you mine. Sadly, Green Thumb Industries has no real-time quote available here. Okay, we'll get to that. it says they didn't change, and canopy growth is relatively flat. They actually went up and down, but I'll show you that. Strong sectors, yeah, they moved up, moved down. They're talking about tax relief and how they could benefit. The taxing laws are terrible for cannabis industry, and the additional tax I don't understand the tax penalties that they put. They're like 25 to 50% in some areas, and that's why a lot of companies are not profitable. If they change those, all this is going to change. It's actually going to create a lot of revenue and no burden on the companies. I don't believe any state should have additional burdens unless they can prove there's a problem with companies, because there's a lot of things that are being additionally taxed that the regular person doesn't know about. If you're watching this, remain strong perspective, short interest, and high retail attention. That's why, and stands as the most fundamentally sound, profitable, rooted, and benefit from the tax relief. So looking at short term, yeah, these things can easily double, triple, maybe more. But they're giving. If you saw the other videos, I've actually supported one of these companies. Been profitable, been not profitable, but you know how it is in the stock market. After 1 week of stabilization, so all these potentially have an option to rally two, three, five times or more. Bottom line, no change on the three picks. That's what they're saying. Short-term speculative uh, remains strongest on these two, and those are my plays, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Okay. Okay, now we're switching over to the stocks. This is Tilray, and the reason why I didn't put this video out the other day is because the news was already out, and this thing had shot up, and then it went down, and it went down a little bit more. I mean, I don't think it's going to go back to this level anytime soon, and it's probably going to go up. I should be showing you the 5 day. But yeah, it was higher, and now they've dipped down a little bit. Now let's look at this one here. Green Thumb Industries, not against the company at all, but they, of course, like a lot of the cannabis stocks, have gone up in the past week. Um, this is a value compared to what you would have got a couple days ago. If you're looking at a drop like that, uh, is there a chance that it could go down lower? Yes, but normally stocks rally on Fridays. So, and Trump did say in a couple weeks, so he could be making an announcement any day. I actually don't anticipate that there's going to be a negative announcement. I think it's going to be positive. So would that be a bad play? Probably not. And let's look at what happened here. This did the same thing. $1 shot up when they started releasing news. It went up over 50%, and now they're at what I would say is a value. I don't think it's going to go back to $1, by the way, before news is released. So I'm thinking now's not a bad time. This is not financial advice. Now is probably not a bad time. I don't think this is going to go back to 5 or 6. And I would have to say now is not a bad time. I don't think this is going to go any lower. It was at 50 cents, 60 cents. I'm thinking this is about as low it's going to go until news is released. If it goes down a little bit, I'd be surprised. Once again, not financial advice, but decriminalization, 90%'s coming on the way. Like, subscribe if you like this information, and have a great day.